Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta, and today I have a reading for you that is intended to bring through some guidance, some insight from spirit. I have here decks that I've already shuffled, and then we are going to build a reading together. We're going to build a spread. And this is something that I do on a nearly daily basis where I commune with spirit, get some guidance, and ask spirit, what do you want to talk to us about today? And there we have it. What does Spirit want to share with us today? What does Spirit want to enlighten us about today? We've got Passion of the Lion Heart. Oh, interesting. Okay. We are going to be talking about the heart space and we're going to be talking about passion. And this is a card that talks about, with Goddess Sekhmet and Fire Agate, by the way. But this is a card that talks about following the passion of the heart. And really, for me, following the heart is courage. So, Spirit today wants to talk to us about courage and about how to live with courage. And I feel like behind us coming in this world, in these times, that is not easy to do at all. That is not at all easy to do. So, let's get some more information for that. We've got Sun in Taurus, practicalities, boost self-worth and finances. And we have got upside down, okay, Eclipse in Gemini, negotiation, rise to challenges as a new path opens. Okay, so what Spirit wants to say is that we want to talk about more the grounded, practical aspects of following your heart in these times, in the days that we're living in. There's this energy of, at this time, of a lot of pressure bearing down on all of us for different reasons. There's financial pressures. We just had a big health crisis worldwide. There's also a sense of not being sure where things are going to go, where the world is going to go. I don't need to kind of sum it up for you. There's climate change, of course, there's war and all of these things. So we all have a kind of collective burden that we're carrying that affects us more or less directly. I personally come from Congo originally, and my country is currently under attack. So there's a level at which war is coming very close to home, right? And so that's my thing. And then there's other things that I share. And then we're all going to have a very specific kind of cocktail of collective burden at this time. And what Spirit is talking about is like this awareness of how it is practically affecting us. And there's the need to be aware of that, because what happens is that it's a form of a negotiation takes place where we are negotiating with the collective climate, with our context. We're negotiating where we're going to go and how we're going to do and what we're going to do about certain things. How are we going to go about things? What are we going to choose? And fundamentally, what Spirit wants to talk to us about in this reading is how do we step up to that negotiation? How do we show up at the negotiation table where we are bringing our spiritual energy with us, where we are allowing our heart to have its say, and maybe even do the negotiating on our behalf. So let's see how Spirit wants to take this. What direction the Spirit want to take this in. So let's start with 4 cards. This one popped out. Who got a Page of Wands, and it popped out upside down. I don't usually read reversals, but we are going to read it that way. We've got the Fool, Major Arcana number 0. We have got Major Arcana number 13, Death. The Fool and Death, side by side. Well, now, there's a meeting you don't see every day. And then we've got a 6 of Swords. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Spirit wants to go really, really, really deep. Now, depending on your belief system, this is going to make sense or it's not. And if it doesn't, just kind of apply it to yours because you're here, right? And so the message is relevant to you in some way, shape, or form. But with this Death card, we are talking about reincarnations and cycles of reincarnation. And so what Spirit is saying is that this negotiation between the context and the soul has been going on for a very, very long time. And there's, you can look at lifetimes. Imagine you would have incarnated and you would want to have, an example, a same-sex relationship. And then for thousands of years, most places on the planet, you would get stoned, burnt, and so on and so forth. If you pursued that, then the soul kind of limited the soul in so many ways, and it created cycles of karma. Or again, because people have been born as same-sex individuals for thousands of years, it has created karma around that, right? So even when we think today, in this day and age, that people, oh, just come out, just, show up and show your true self, at a soul level, that's very, very difficult. So that's very interesting. I never thought about it that way, but that people who are pursuing same-sex relationships in a way have broken through a form of collective karmic burden, but that they also have a different karmic context than the rest of us might experience, who aren't choosing that experience in this lifetime. And but at a general level, this kind of negotiation between who I am, excuse me, who I am in my heart, who I am in my truth, and living that out, yeah, expressing my truth in the world. There's blockages and there's limitations, but we're coming into a time now with the Fool where we want to break out of that. The soul wants to break out of that. And if you're watching this, you're in alignment with this energy. Your soul doesn't want to play this anymore. It doesn't want to play this anymore. Page of Wands upside down is this energy of, I'm excited about certain things. I'm aspiring to certain things in this life. I want to go certain places. I want to do certain things, but I feel like I can't. I feel like I'm held back. I'm going to put it right side up because that's how I read cards, but also to shift that energy on our behalf. It's time to shift out of that energy. And with the Six of Swords, it talks about thinking about things in a different way. So how do we think about things in a different way, Spirit? Please help us with that. I'm just feeling it's not right. It's really just not right. Because life is so precious, and we all have the right at a soul level to lead life the way that we want to, because it's so much more important than, do I love this person, do I love that person? It's about the evolution, the development of our soul. Yeah, the high priest, the empress, thriving at a soul level, thriving in our spirit. It's about so much more than the surfaces, the practicalities of things. And that's pretty much where Spirit wants to bring our attention. We've got the Nine of Cups. We've got the Tower, Major Arcana number 16. We've got Major Arcana number 8, the Strength card. And we've got the Five of Cups, yeah. And they're on either side of this dynamic. The Nine of Cups is self-fulfillment. It's making ourselves happy. I'm going to do me. I'm going to make myself happy right under this Page of Wands. And the Five of Cups is precisely feeling denied, feeling disappointed, grieving lost opportunities. And there's this dichotomy. Do we fulfill ourselves? Do we make ourselves happy? Or do we make choices, negotiate with life, negotiate with existence, with the world as it is unfolding? Not life, never life. Life is the Fool. Life is good, life is whole. You can have anything that you want, you can live exactly as you want. Life is this energy of self-fulfillment. And then the existence, the world, how life is manifesting is the world. Is the Five of Cups. And so is this energy of, well, there's a choice to be made. And with the Tower and the Strength card, it's a choice that has far-reaching implications. And if you're watching this, I would think that you're in alignment with this energy, that you might be feeling a calling. You might be having a choice in front of you that is going to be life-changing in some kind of way, shape, or form. It could be that, but in general, Spirit is saying that when you start to live in accordance with your heart, when we start to follow the dictates of our heart, when we become courageous and live out the truth of our life, nothing can stay the same. It really is life-changing, even life-shattering. Certain circumstances that are not in alignment, they shatter. And with this Tower card you see here, there's a crown. That crown represents rulership. And it's the rulership of the old that falls away, the rulership of the ego that just cannot be maintained because there's a new sheriff in town. There's the spiritual energy here taming that animalistic part of ourselves, the herd animal that needs to please others, that needs to be accepted, that needs to fit in, that needs to put safety above and everything else. All the ways in which we could be tempted to negotiate with the world. Well, it's a difficult time. I hate this job. They're horrible to me. But it's a difficult time. Would I even find another job? Would I even be able to make it on my own? Would I even be able to? And so on and so forth. Again, the pressures of the context that really are, and that's what Spirit is saying. Your animalistic human self is influenced by that context, by that pressure. And it's supposed to be, it's fine, right? We're supposed to be engaging with it. We're not supposed to be dominated by it, but we're supposed to be engaged with it. But our spiritual self is completely immune to it. Our spirit, our energy is completely beyond the dynamics of that context. And so it's safe to look to it. It's safe to look to your heart, because your heart will always tell you the truth. Your heart won't tell you a conditional truth based on, well, because the context is this, let's do that. The heart won't say that. The heart will say, this is what is true for you. This is who you are in your spirit, and this is who you're always going to be in your spirit. This is what is relevant for you and to you. And that matters because fundamentally, and the Spirit is saying, think of it in practical terms. If your spirit isn't happy, you're not going to be happy. You might be safe and you might be fitting in, but you're not going to be happy. You're not going to have that fulfillment. You're always going to feel on some way, shape, or form like you're short of something. You're lacking something. You're not going to be in the abundance of everything that is provided. And that's, I feel like these cards are going to talk about that, which is Spirit is saying there's a misconception about spiritual energy in the heart. Because first of all, the heart is an emotional energy. That's the emotional center. Like in the chakras, right? You have the sacral chakra, that's the center of the emotions. The heart is a center of values, of intentions, of priority, of the will, the profound will, the deep will, the true will of your being. Not I want this, this would be cool, that. No, the will, who am I? What am I alive for? And then living according to that. So the answers that your heart gives you are not fancy. It's not like, oh, let's, quit our job and go dance here. No, it's what is going to really and truly make me happy. What is going to be the most important thing for me to experience in life. And so those answers are more practical than we tend to think. Okay, let's look at the cards. We got a 7 of Cups. Yeah, I'm just saying what the cards are saying. We got a Knight of Pentacles. Oh, beautiful. Nine of Pentacles, and we got a 9 of Wands. Okay, here's what Spirit is saying. We think that it's fancy. We think that when the heart speaks, very often we don't see how we're gonna get to it. But but then there's this and there's that. How we're gonna make it happen? The Spirit is saying with the Knight of Pentacles that the heart is actually very practical, and it gives us steps. It might not be something that we can have straight away. We don't know how, but it's something we can work our way toward in a practical way, or the heart wouldn't bring it forward. That would be cruel, right? The heart doesn't have us a wish for things and prioritize things and value things and feel resonant with things that are not going to be good for us, or even that we can't reach. Then it just would put us in a space of void, and that's not the point at all. The point is precisely for us to come into a space where we're enjoying our life here, where we have everything that we value in life. The 9 of Pentacles is a card that talks about the benefits of work. It just takes some work. It takes some work. It takes some effort. It takes some taking steps. And it takes being very, very consistent also, meaning you can't follow your heart down one path and then the heart says left, and you're like, oh no, that's too scary. I'm not going to listen to my heart. I'm going to go with my brain, and I'm going to go right, and then keep going, not get to where you want to go, and then say, oh, my heart misled me. So it does require consistency, and it does require taking all of those steps that you're guided to, and it does, again, take work and effort, but there is a reality that is created where you can reap the rewards of those efforts. Is the manifestation of the 9 of Cups. It becomes your lived reality, and that's where your life wants to take you. 9 of Pentacles, sorry, it's also a card of, that gain, but things that have value, valuable relationships, valuable work, valuable experiences, even sensual experiences. It's a card where your reality is basically paying off for you. And it's like it paid off to be human, right? To go through the process of incarnating. But it's the kind of reality that your soul feels at home in, and it realigns everything. It realigns everything. It really does. So, Spirit, get us a bit of advice. What is the advice that you really wanted to put forth for this reading? That we're basically here to hear. One card? Yes, one card will say it all. Okay. Surrender, procrastination. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now is the time to jump on a goal instead of putting it off. Taking action will attract success. There's never a really good time to start listening to your heart. There's never a really good time to start being courageous. It's now. It's now. That's what it is. Because it's not about, you don't follow your heart because you want it to get you somewhere. You have to follow your heart for intrinsic reasons, because that's how to live. That's how to be. It's a choice that is a very high vibration, like up the stairs. It's not a choice about the dynamics of this world, but in practical terms, it's a choice to just make, because it's not just the right thing to do, but it's the way that will get you what you want and how you want to live. And we all want to be happy, right? Nobody wants suffering. Everybody wants to be happy. That's the kind of basic thingy. I feel like I need to draw this card. It will make more sense in conjunction with this card, which is Meadow Vulnerability, of course. Of course, of course, of course. I intended for this to be a kind of outcome card, and here we have it. All these flowers blossoming beautifully, and they are vulnerable. They are open to the elements. They are vulnerable, but they're blossoming. They are themselves. We don't necessarily live in a world that is going to reward us for following our heart. In many ways, we'll have that reality, but I just mean in terms of maybe everybody understanding, or everybody applauding, or arriving in a space where it gives us more security according to the way in which the world functions. But that doesn't change the fact that it's still the way to live, and that's why it's called courage, right? That's why it's courage. It requires courage to follow the dictates of our heart in this day and age. And vulnerability from that is not a reason to avoid it. It's a reason to start learning how to manage it, to start doing the work so that we can get there and live there in sustainable ways. So the takeaway from this reading, Spirit, from this entire reading, if you remember nothing else from this reading, what should it be, Spirit? How does the curtain drop on this particular reading? It drops with William Morris. Oh, lovely. And it says, bad truth makes good fantasy. To be prolific, be versatile. Art is the methadone of the masses. And I think it's this notion of bad truth makes good fantasy. Any which way you look at it, not following your heart is fantasy. It's something that is unsustainable, something that is unhealthy. It is something that is going to have its effects on you physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even financially, and so on and so forth. It's not a benign thing to do. Lots of people do it, but it doesn't mean that it's healthy. It doesn't mean that it's benign. So you're always going to feel it, right? And so this is a matter of what this reading really wanted to do, is to bring through a kind of reality check and let you know, wherever you are in your journey, that courage is a step that is always warranted, and is always doable, and is always going to lead to better. So love, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that it has served you. I hope that it inspired you, that it brought you some answers, some new perspectives, whatever you need in this moment. May you be blessed always and in all ways. And if you enjoyed the reading, subscribe. There will be more coming. And I'm sending you lots of love. If you want to know more about me, check out the description box where I've placed all the links and my info about me and my work. And so that's it for now. Lots and lots of love. Thank you for joining me, and I will be seeing you around. Bye bye.